better call somebody! You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE.
Give me a hell yeah!
Now, let's meet the host. Kyle Gagliardi.
The face that runs the place.
Jim Tucker. And Erica Marini.
I'm the boss. I'm the blueprint. I'm the standard.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am Jim Tucker. We are not joined by Kyle Gagliardi. He's being a good friend on a wedding weekend, but I am joined by two special people. One is Erica Marini, our co-host at Erica_0328. What's going on, Erica? Sup, dog?
Sup, dog? I could say the same thing to you times two.
There we go. We've got Milo hanging in the back. Milo is my nephew, my sister-in-law's dog. He is on the DL right now, or the injured list. You can't call it the disabled list anymore. The injured list. He's nursing a bad toenail.
Paw boo-boo.
Yeah, the drugs that he got last night were incredible. If his status was any indication, he was on the moon last night. He's been all right. We're trying to keep eyes on him to keep him in the cast thing, the wrapped up thing that the vet did. We've had to go over it a couple times with some shipping tape, things like that. Now he's getting adventurous. He might want out here in a bit, but he's found a spot on the floor, and life is good. And we're going to chat about wrestling from the past week. We've received a week that's been like newsworthy, but not crazy.
Yeah.
There's more Vince McMahon hush money off the books, another 20 mil. So when you think about some of the people that they laid off, it was like probably would have had Keith Lee on programming still, and maybe not the
Just
hush money.
keep your doinker where it belongs.
Yeah. That's why he wanted to be NXT to be hornier, because he's like, well, I got all this hush money off the books. Let's use the young kids to get.
It's all coming together. You're right.
That's not great. Ryan Vogus checking in, giving Milo a good boy. Vogus says you're a good boy. Hop up. Get up here. Nope. Okay, we're still working on that. There he is. He's being a good sport. And Robbie Collins checking in. What's up, Robbie Collins? How we doing today? Vogus is our current most valuable mark. I hit him up when I think I sent a package with a shirt in it or something. Oh, I sent his CM Punk shirt from Double or Nothing, and I gave him about 50 of these, so I think we're still flush on that. I don't think I owe him yet.
I hope that he goes around his neighborhood, like, you know, when you go to like the gas station, there's just like stickers on like the pumps,
on the bathrooms and stop signs and things like that.
I want like people in Vogus's neighborhood to be like, what the fuck is this? Whose tag is this?
Easy. Yeah. So basically on the doc that I had to create that is not as great as Gags' outlines, I just got results from SmackDown, Raw, and Dynamite, and there are things to chat about among those three things. The other thing to chat about is the new problem that I have with collecting figures. I've updated. I've got 12 signed figures, and there's the app called Whatnot, which is like Instagram Live meets eBay, has become an issue for myself. So I've got a number of figures coming in for that. I'm gonna let Milo out here,
let him out.
Because he's getting a little whiny. What's that?
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say Robbie. I don't know if I knew Robbie was from Scotland.
We do. He said, been a good day, really warm here in Scotland.
I think I pictured.
I just thought UK.
And you know what? Not to be disrespectful, Robbie, but I thought UK was just England. So public schooling has really let me down, but I don't think that's anything new.
And so now I tried to be good uncle with Milo, and that lasted less than 6 minutes. Now it's a wild card, as if I walk out and his cast is completely blown up. We'll see. Hopefully he just finds a spot on the couch and takes a nappy poo. The Pigskin Project checking in. What up, guys? What's happening? Vogus says he's going to Clash, and he says no. UK is England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. So yes, his answer was yes.
United Kingdom.
United. The United Kingdom. One kingdom united.
I don't think
England,
I don't
Scotland,
say this to be
Wales,
funny. I don't think
Ireland.
I don't think I took a lick of geography, especially not in high school.
I definitely had it in class. I remember old dude standing up there with his laser pointer thinking it was cool because he was just pointing at all these things. I don't remember what he was pointing at, but Vogus did ask Robbie if he was going to Clash at the castle. I'm interested to hear Robbie's response. Maybe he is.
This is like I have so many questions now, Robbie. Do you love Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, like
Nikki ASH?
is he the thing now? Correct.
And you make 3.
Yes. I'm
All right,
looking.
cool.
Apparently, I wasn't in charge. Apparently, I don't know how to do the little ticker thing at the bottom. That's a banner. Here we go. This is the banner I'm looking for on the markwrestlingpodcast.com. You're going to visit on the markwrestlingpodcast.com if you like the show and want to buy merch. If you don't like the show, but you still want to buy our merch. If you don't,
and my face just got
no, that's it. I think that's it. If you like the show and you want to buy merch, if you don't like the show, but you still want to buy merch, a lot of great options. We will be running a discount code for Clash at the Castle in a couple weeks. So you can sit around and wait for that, or you can just pay full price now, which is still not that bad compared to some other wrestling shops. My big thing, Fanatics took over the WWE shop. So Fanatics is a brand. They run the MLB shops, the NFL shops. They just bought Tops. They're like taking over the sports market. Now there's no like big bozo sales going on Raw and SmackDown.
Oh.
They're like free shipping if you buy a T-shirt. And you're like,
and it used to be weekly where it'd be like
buy one shirt, get one for $1.
$1, yeah.
All T-shirts 40% off.
Titles 40% off, yeah.
I know. As soon as they sent out an email and they were like, "Oh, this is cool that Fanatics is now running WWE show." I'm like, "It's not cool. It's not cool." Robbie said, "I couldn't get tickets for Clash. My uncle got them, but WWE is coming to Glasgow, so I'm going to that." Awesome. Okay, there we go. And he was also asked by the Pigskin Project, "What channel is Monday Night Raw on over there?" Robbie then responds, "It is on BT Sport." There you go. And he was going to say, I didn't think USA Network would work in the UK, which is sneaky funny. I did not anticipate that. Hats off to you, Quinny Gerard, with the eyeballs in the chat. Sup, Quinny? So SmackDown. We had SummerSlam. We've had 2 Raws and 2 SmackDowns since. The Triple H effect is in the works. Kyle Gagliardi, myself, and Ryan Vogus are confirmed for WrestleMania. We have tickets both nights, section 230. Our seats are very similar to the seats we had at SummerSlam. So I'm looking forward to that. And the note that I dropped to them was like, this is going to be the first Triple H WrestleMania too. It's in April. So we'll see. The Triple H effect has been noticed in SmackDown and Raw. On SmackDown, Shayna Baszler wins the gauntlet match, which was an interesting matchup. It looked like to me going into it, I was leaning Raquel or Shayna because those are big, strong women in that gauntlet match. I went with Shayna before the match started because I thought she would be a good opposition to Liv Morgan. The other thing to talk about is Liv Morgan got booed there. So take it away.
I mean, I think Rhea, summed it up when she tweeted at Liv about the fans booing her, calling them fickle. Beautifully said. And then I think she invited Liv to join, what's it called?
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. Yeah. And Becky said it too. Like when they want you, they love you, they're cheering for you, and then they flip on you. They get tired of you in a second. What, like for being successful, for like doing what you guys wanted me to do? And it's not like Liv's been shoved down our throats. It's been 2 months.
A month.
Like,
Just over a month. I mean, it's so that's a month and 9 days. So here's my thing.
What do you want?
Going into the SummerSlam match against Ronda, Gags and I both said there's no way she wins straight up, wins clean. I thought that finish was actually decent because Liv had Ronda in a vulnerable spot. She stood up and got the pin. She did tap and succumb, but it worked out for her. And it wasn't that like chicken shit stuff where she used a weapon, anything like that. And we got a Ronda heel turn out of it. So I thought there was value there. But if they're booing her now because she tapped out to Ronda Rousey, who doesn't?
It's correct. And it's not like it was like you said, not like it was like chicken shit heel to like.
And those same people were gassed when she won the title. They were pumped because she beat Ronda Rousey, and that's really the only way you can pin her clean is if she just had a match against Natalya, that kind of thing. And I'm excited for it right now. Who wins, Shayna Baszler or Liv Morgan?
I don't know anymore. If you asked me this 5 months ago, I'd say, how the fuck did Shayna Baszler get a championship match?
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for Liv. I know Vogus is still saying she has no character or no story. You're right. She doesn't. And I don't know what to do. And I would say even her losing the belt might like light a fire in her. Maybe she does go to Judgment Day because they've already tried the whole like dangling the belt in front of her like a carrot and she still can't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was hoping she gets the title, something more comes about, but her shtick is like, I've always loved wrestling and now it's like my time. And that is not very strong when you tapped out in the middle of the count. No. I wouldn't say if I was live, I don't know that I would boo her, but I don't know that I'd be going. I am synonymous with going crazy when Bianca Belair and the Street Profits come out. Those are my two songs. I get my whole section going. If you're in my section when they walk out, you're in the Jimmy section. You're part of the Jimmy show. Get your ass up, twirl your hair that you don't have, and let's get it moving. When Liv comes out, it's like, okay, I'm here, but I like Bianca's bad. The Street Profits are bad. So
it's two different worlds. And then I don't know what Ronda's deal is. I think having Shayna win has that Ronda element in it somehow, whether she turns on Shayna and I don't know, or the shit with Liv keeps going and then that kind of segues into another Ronda Liv feud without the belt. I don't know. I'm gonna say everyone asked me to predict, but I know I'm gonna choose Shayna just because.
I think I'm going Liv.
But it's like the Triple H era. Like you don't know. Shit used to be
so
predictable because I haven't.
I'm pretty sure the match is going to be good though, because they've got a month to write it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they have time. So I think the match will be good. I think Liv wins, and I think this is like her first statement win. Shayna Baszler's tough. She's a bad woman. She's been terribly booked, but she had Ronda on the ropes. She got a 3 count on Ronda, even though she tapped, and Shayna's not Ronda.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that makes me think this is one where it becomes a statement win. I don't know. It can't be a squash because Liv can't squash anybody. She has to outsmart them and work around, you know what I mean? Just her size and profile.
Well, you know what?
I think it'll be a good match.
Maybe she wins and maybe Ronda, I don't know if Ronda has plans to be there, but maybe that's where the Ronda factor comes in, is that her and Shayna are boys, and maybe Ronda comes in, tries to interfere, help Shayna win. Right. I don't know what comes from
and you've got the Ronda Shayna thing. They add one to it. There's another 3-piece to go up against Bayley, Io, and Dakota. That could be a thing too. Pigskin Project getting pretty horny over here. Not gonna lie, I'm a fan of Liv because I think she's attractive. Sweaty emoji gif. That's like the only reason though. She has no story value. So at least he's not putting her on a pedestal saying she should be on the Mount Rushmore. At least his horniness is at the forefront of his examples there.
Yeah, own it.
So,
and also Pigskin Project. Sorry, I don't know if you saw them say that. We can come back to it, but if we see Roman dropping a title so that USA Network has a champion.
Well, yeah, that's been floated out there. Fightful talked about it as well. We'll get to that at the end of SmackDown when we talk about Karrion Kross in that debut. We have just a few other things. Ricochet pinning Baron Corbin. That's a fresh matchup, right? Ricochet on the spot challenges you. Music hits, walks out. Good match. People forget that Baron Corbin can wrestle a little bit too, I think. And I think that always comes with him. And it was great to see Ricochet get the win. Another match of consequence was Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Ludwig Kaiser, because if he beat Kaiser, he has a shot at Gunther for the IC title. I don't know when it happens, but if it happens at Clash at the Castle, are they going to have Shin beat Gunther in Wales? I don't know. I think that card's going to have a lot of that international flavor. This would be Cesaro almost main eventing this one, right? There. But I like that these matches mean something. Not all of them, but there's something to most of them. It's not just replays of whatever SummerSlam had.
It doesn't feel, I can't think of the word, vapid. Is that a word?
Yeah, like
I don't know. It just doesn't feel like
empty. Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Well, he's
and that was when, the way we got Ciampa, the way that he earned a title opportunity against Bobby Lashley, right? Had to win his triple threat and then had to beat AJ Styles to get that. Like, that wraps you up for a couple hours. I want to see how it shakes out. Much like the women's tag team tournament that started on Raw this week that we'll be touching on here in a minute. So those couple things on SmackDown happened. Roman Reigns comes out, cuts a promo at the end. Here comes Drew McIntyre. I think the crowd is warming back up to Drew McIntyre after he endured a number of feuds that were very kind of low profile, low card feuds. And Vogus says, I watched Raw live for the first time in maybe 2 years this week, and that's something. And Vogus is known to watch everything, but like live appointment viewing, he's going to fit it in. But I think that is something. So Pigskin Project, the more I watch WWE, the more I recognize there's a lot of underutilized talent on the roster. In AEW, it seems like every title push had the right timing and no appearances forgettable. I think AEW is in that weird ground now where there's too much going on. Personally, what do you think?
Yeah, and I agree. But I think too, like, is it also too new to kind of have things be recycled? And I don't know, but
yeah, like, there's a lot they can do with the people that they're pulling from places. You know what I mean?
Right. But like, yeah, I don't know.
So Roman Reigns does a promo. Drew McIntyre comes out. We end the show. That video package comes on, and I raised an eyebrow thinking Karrion Kross and Scarlett, but I'm like, aren't they doing indies? Like, I just saw him at StarCast. Gags and I, when we walked out, that was the one that we missed, right? We walked out and said, I probably should have done Karrion Kross. I thought that would be cool. Maybe do a picture with both of them or something, but that was the one. That one and Takeshita are the two that got away from me. Takeshita was cheap, and Karrion Kross, those are the two that I popped off far more than I thought I would, but those are the two that in hindsight did not go our way. But Vogus comments, there's rumors where former WWE talents in AEW are unhappy with TV time. And now you have to think, what about some of those Triple H guys that trickled away that were doing really well in NXT that are over in AEW kind of hanging out now? I think the big one on that AEW roster that I would really want back is Keith Lee, because I don't think his push on the main roster. They called him Bearcat, right? Bring him back as Keith Lee, let it roll.
Yeah.
And
Are
and
they still
go ahead.
fans?
What's
yeah,
that?
Right. Him and Swerve.
Yeah.
Are they still
Yeah.
tank champ?
Yep.
Okay. But even that,
So,
I don't see that.
No,
I don't think he really fits in
Keith
AEW.
Lee's a dude that could take down Roman Reigns. Big, strong, athletic, can go. Depending on how you book him. Obviously, as a Bearcat, that wasn't the move that they were thinking about. But the Karrion Kross thing re-debuts, no daddy outfit with the suspenders and mask. He has hair now, and he has Scarlet.
Yes.
Yes.
Like that was huge.
And people forget how important Scarlett is just for those little touches. She's staring dead ass at Roman Reigns as she slides the hourglass, flips it over, and turns around. Now here's the thing: we don't know what they're going to do. Is it going to be a triple threat? That ties in back to Ryan Matthews from the Pigskin Project. His comments on USA not being happy with the title. Is there a way they're going to try to separate them? USA I think that's a legitimate gripe. We had a heavyweight champion for a long time, and now Roman Reigns isn't even showing up on Raw.
It's true. That's true. That is a really good point. And for you to mention the possibility of it becoming a triple threat, because then Roman doesn't have to take the pin to lose. And that's perfect because it leaves him untouched. And whether it goes, I would imagine it would probably be Drew, but yeah, that would be a good way, I guess, to take one off of them.
And Ryan also brings this up. It makes him even more curious about the MJF situation now that Triple H is in control. I feel like MJF's character might be used correctly now that Vince is gone, and they've got the TV 14-ish, right? They've got that line that they can toe, and Fightful Select put out a rumor kind of talky piece about Jonathan Gresham as well. That maybe Jonathan Gresham and MJF or people may have reached out and poked around. That would be exciting. I would love to see someone like Jonathan Gresham get a shot because he's not a Vince guy, right? He's 5'4", but I don't care that he's jacked to the gills and he looks like a little freaking tank. He's just 5'4". It's not going to work. When I think Triple H's era with the Attitude Era and that style of wrestling with those smaller guys, Benoit, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho was smaller. When those guys got over, and I think Jonathan Gresham, I think he's great. I wish his match at Ric Flair's last match would have went longer, but every match on that card was under 12 minutes, aside from Flair's match where he passed out twice. Did you read that?
And then him to say that I wish I never said that was my last match.
Yeah, I only passed out twice. That was dehydration. Well, he got dehydrated because he was banging beers Friday and Saturday.
You are just a completely irresponsible 74-year-old man.
He's like, I didn't realize it was gonna feel like that. I'm like, come on. But will it actually be his last match? Because there's plenty of room on this T-shirt to add Ric Flair's other last match, his second last match.
He's gonna be like Cher, like how Cher has done like 5 retirement tours, and she just keeps going. That will be him.
Yeah. Pigskin Project. I just realized you guys might get the opportunity to talk about last night's Dynamite. I can't wait. I love this show. This show being OTM. Yes, we do have some notes on Dynamite that we'll touch on.
And remind me about Robbie. I will touch on what Robbie just said about Mox with the blood matches.
Yes, you will touch Robbie. Got it. Okay. So that I think that's it for SmackDown. The Triple H effect. I think I like that debut of Karrion Kross. Kind of comes out of nowhere, leaves the fans that know him as, oh, this is cool. But it also had that old school like Kane debut where they only said the word Kane up until he actually debuted. Right? They didn't show a video package of him. He comes out, bursts through the Hell in a Cell. There we go. We have Karrion Kross, and he's back, and he looks bad. He looks
different.
He's got Scarlett with him, and I think I think now, like as WWE comes back and says, "Hey, Karrion, we'd love you to come back," he would be like, "Not without Scarlett. I won't do it without Scarlett. We tried that."
Do you think that they're doing
and I like that.
Like, do you think he's back and signed, or is it more, because I don't understand anything, and I think AEW is kind of making me like look at things differently, how like, yeah, you could have somebody wrestle for you for weeks and they're not like all elite yet. So, but like I always saw WWE as so much more of a business, so I just automatically assumed that like if somebody like Kross and Scarlett show up and you're showing up in the main event picture, that meant you had signed.
That's what I'm under the impression of as well. I don't think they do tiered deals the way AEW does, because they'll give you tiered deals where they're just going to pay you per appearance. We get 12 spots with you, 8 spots. They do long-term yearly salary type deals as well. But I've always been under the impression if you show up on WWE, you're on WWE. Now, I mean, Brock Lesnar, at the drop of a hat, they'll just say, hey, let's write up a contract and give you a bag real quick to get you to show up and do this thing. I think that's what happened on the Raw in Minnesota when the shit hit the fan, and then Brock Lesnar appears. But I'm not sure on that. So SmackDown was good. Raw, another great show. Vogus watched this one live. We start off with Angelo Dawkins having a great match without a shirt on against Seth Rollins.
Loved it.
I think the thing that I'm happiest about is that I think they care about Dawkins too. I don't think they're trying to push him to the side. At minimum, I think they're giving him an opportunity to get himself over. All right. Like,
and I think
okay, we like Montez Ford, Angelo. He's great. And here's your shot too. You go do it. You go do the things. And you can tell his body's getting tighter. His moveset is great. Like I'm not afraid for him. Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing, like Tez is so easy and fun to like root for. You almost don't need to, because he's just got it and he's going to shine in whatever match he's in, wherever he's having that match. It wasn't that long ago that I was watching it and I go, what is up with Angelo Dawkins? I mean, I know he's got a new baby, but it's just, he looked so unhealthy that it was just like bags under his eyes. He almost looked like pale. Like it was just like, and I was genuinely worried. Seeing him on this past Raw, he's like more jacked, like you said, like he's like getting fit. And I love that he's leaning into being the bigger guy and just like plowing people like through and over like the commentary table. Like I love that. And I love that it doesn't have to be a Tez versus Dawkins thing to have each one of them grow into like individual singles wrestlers. I love it.
You got it. Vogus calls back. If you follow their social media, they're being Scarlett and Karrion Kross's. They're still fulfilling all their Independence dates this year. So it's not a Vince approved deal. That's not the way they structured it. I think Triple H, the last few Vince McMahon deals ended up in hush money and NDAs. So I think it's a great thing that they have a different type of deal. I love that they're giving the Street Profits individual runs instead of only pushing the tag. These guys are both extremely young and talented. Both deserve to be immortalized individually. Well, and that was the Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels thing, right? Incredible as a tag team, did great, and then they only wanted Shawn, right? Shawn was the only one that got the rub after that, and that would break my heart if that was the Street Profits ultimate ending there. Nice. Ryan Matthews also brought up a comment earlier about Kevin Owens destroying Ezekiel. He said Kevin Owens is a great wrestler, but when he practically killed Ezekiel this week, I felt like it was just to remind people he still exists after Mania. Here's my take on this. I think Kevin Owens is a Triple H guy, and I think that was a way to get KO out of a feud that Triple H didn't want him in. Maintains the edge, still heelish, and it writes that feud away because they have big plans for Kevin Owens coming up. That's what I took out of it. It was like putting that feud to bed. Yeah. Is that what you thought? And there's Robbie Collins. That was a great way to write Zeke out of WWE. You know, I didn't hate it, but don't tell me that there's going to be an L-Rod and then don't give me an L-Rod. You know what I mean?
Don't drop an L-Rod and not deliver on an L-Rod.
No, none of the people you like ever drop an L-Rod and don't deliver, right? It's always those skanky people, the people you don't want to be with. Ryan Matthews, I agree, Robbie. That character was a waste of time for the wrestler himself. It did show off how jacked he was, though. But I was not a fan of what his face looked
No.
like without the beard. It was like, bro, you have like beard burn.
I was
Like,
just gonna say, it's almost like you had a beard for too long.
it was not great. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, I
Yeah.
like the
Gave us some
Ultimate Warrior
LOLs.
type thing. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
good with it, but I'm glad that Ezekiel type thing is a mid card where I don't think Kevin Owens is quite that mid card guy they might have thought he would be.
Yeah,
So
he doesn't need to be.
Finn Balor defeated Rey Mysterio, prolonging this feud. He started the match without Dominic, but he knew Dominic was going to show up for him. Dominic did show up, but he was choked out by Rhea Ripley. The limp, lifeless body of Dominic Mysterio bloodied up.
Rhea Ripley.
What a job, though. Hey, we just need you to go out and get manhandled by Rhea Ripley for the next few weeks. Dom's probably like, I can do that. That'll work.
I'll clear my schedule.
Vogus said it wasn't a waste of time. Ezekiel was the hottest thing in wrestling for like 2 months, and I think he was there, and it made people also want Elias back, where they burned and killed Elias in those weird vignettes, and like they didn't know what to do with it.
Where they were together when they were on the couch together, and they
yes.
I forget if they high-fived or like that whole thing was just ridiculous. But I also don't know many people that could do that and pull it off. But I think that Elias Ezekiel Elrod was one of them.
And Pigskin Project, the re-debut of Blood in WWE, and that was an intentional spot. They put him out there like that too. That wasn't blood that happened, unlike every Jon Moxley match that you're going to see until the end of time. Probably he's defending the GCW title this week against Effie on Saturday at Homecoming Part 1. The combo bundle is only $20 for both shows. I think I may purchase, so I might have those things for Saturday and Sunday.
About Effie, and then Kyle tweets Effie.
Oh yeah.
And Effie retweets Effie. Just don't get me started. But all right.
I think I would like to get you started on that.
I my wrestling is gay shirt tonight, and then I said, you know what? He don't like me. I'm not wearing it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Gags and Effie are apparently boys now. Even though Gags went on stream acting like he went to like 5 GCW shows, and you had to back him off a little bit. Respect. And we got the most important Gagliardi in the house. Kyle couldn't make it tonight, but Donna still did. Donna, what is up, girl? Yes. Girl. Okay, so that shows you what she thinks about the podcast, right? Kyle's not here. She is. It's still worthwhile without, the face that runs the place.
You were just bad-mouthing your son.
No, it's fine. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for showing up. I swear I'm hoping to see Mox vs. Punk for the chip in person at All Out. You got time. Is it going to be healed up in a couple weeks? He was just at Comic-Con like a week ago, and they were talking about how much he was icing his ankles or feet and legs between appearances. So maybe that was a work. I don't know. He looked ginger as he came off the ropes, like he was still paying attention to it. Did get physical though through the clothesline. We'll get to that when we recap Quake at the Lake. Finn Balor defeated Rey Mysterio. Rhea Ripley is still actually Dominic Mysterio's daddy at this point. We also got the women's tag tournament, right? With this, for weeks, nobody mentioned anything about a tag tournament. Triple H takes over. We shall have a tag team tournament. I thought the bracket was interesting. It looked like all the winners were going to come from the left. And that included Io Sky and Dakota Kai. They defeated Tamina and Dana Brooke, which I actually thought was a good match. I thought it was going to be more squashy. They gave that time, showcased women's wrestling. The other thing to notice on the right side of the bracket is that Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark have a team in there as well. So when Triple H led NXT, like basically NXT won that Survivor Series weekend. And maybe there's some sprinklings of that where, again, you can be on NXT and get some shine up there, but maybe not be a main roster. Let's see how it goes, Bogus, when commenting on the women's tag tournament, says, will the winners face a returning Sasha and Naomi?
Insane.
I think that's got to be SmackDown, right? I think they've got to pop up on SmackDown and make that appearance to bolster that women's division over there, right? As of right now, because Ronda and Charlotte aren't there. Liv's at the top. Shayna's
What
the
if-
next challenger. Keep going.
Could it be that? What if it's Io in the end? It's Io and Dakota versus whomever from SmackDown, and the whomevers from SmackDown get taken out, and then their new opponents are Sasha and Naomi, and there's that. And then
And
they
Bogus
take
also says, sup, Nikita. When we talk about Nikita Lyons, Robbie has a comment. Did you guys see that on NXT during Nikita's match, it had to go to a black screen twice because of a wardrobe malfunction? Horniness in the right side of the chat right now is palpable, right? I did not see that. I did not see the black screen. I'm unfortunate for that.
What came out? Her boob?
I don't know. A boob, a butt cheek. Her butt cheeks are like out. Look, they're prominently featured. They're over. Some parts of Nikita are very over among the IWC.
It's the right and the left side. Right.
And as I talk about that, you're like,
Okay.
all right, okay, yeah, I get it. Now, I thought that women's tag match was good. Again, matches that mean something, right?
Yeah.
That might not turn into a feud, probably doesn't need to. Some of these teams were cobbled together, but I do like that they announced it, and there were angles of girls kind of jockeying, trying to find teams and things like that. I think that happens in men's tag tournaments as well, where you got a few teams that get tossed together. So nothing.
Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne in the
Yeah.
Dusty Classic. They got
and Riddle and Randy Orton happened, After that, which I thought was like, looking at my clock, I was kind of goofed about it, but Bobby Lashley faced Ciampa for the U.S. title. Ciampa comes out in a Harley race. Ciampa makes every match feel important when they give him a mic, and that's what I like about him, and I think that's why he is going to continue to get pushed a little bit because of how much he's doing with his mic time as well. What were your thoughts on that match, Lashley and Ciampa?
very passionate, and obviously we know I'm a huge Ciampa kid. Like you said, he makes the matches feel like there's something, even if it's not. You give him that mic and he turns it into something that you're excited to watch, you're excited to see, whether it's for a championship or not. I liked the match. I liked that he came out in his Harley race paying tribute. I don't know. I think, like you said, I think he's going to continue to get pushed. I feel like this is really just the beginning for him. And I kind of still like the Miz factor. At first, when it became like the Triple H era, I was like, okay, what's going to happen with that? I like the two of them being in each other's corner still.
Yeah, and I think the Miz is benefiting from having Ciampa with him too. It almost makes the Miz feel more credible, more wrestler, tough guy-ish as well.
Like a lackey, just a piss on that he's got going with him, and it's this and that. And he doesn't need to like rely on Maurice. You know what I mean? Like he's got like a real viable force in his corner. And like Bogus just said, how long till him and Miz face off? I was coming unglued watching in bed, texting Kyle, and he's telling me to shush. When it was Ciampa and AJ. Oh, I'm sorry, Miz and AJ. I'm jumping. But whatever. There's just so many possibilities for it.
Well, we can discuss that. The only thing between Ciampa's match and the Miz's match was that Omos squashed two people you never heard of. So Omos, I thought he was going to be vanquished. I didn't know what Triple H was going to do with him. Maybe they're hitting the restart. I just hit spacebar and that comment popped up. So I guess spacebar does things too. Matthew says the eventual Ciampa versus Kross Universal Championship match will be so damn good. Yeah, well, when, right? There's a lot of options.
Sorry.
Yes, and Robbie follows that up. Miz hands down has the best mic skills in WWE right now. The best in the game. It's hard to argue against. He's doing a great job. Ciampa's doing a great job as well. And the thing that we get here throughout Raw. Did you notice the car crash in the background? Right? Did you notice that in the apparently it's very dangerous. One of the man from the Mac Mania podcast said apparently one of the most dangerous jobs is being the backstage interviewer reporter, because they're always
True.
in the middle of these shenanigans, and he's trying to get a rub from KO while threatened to get his ass beat. There's a car crash that apparently Doudrop and Nikki ASH were very concerned about. But that's fun, right? There's this thing going on right in front of me that maybe I'm supposed to be paying attention to, but right past them, there's another thing that's like a uh-oh, and it was never mentioned, right? So what happens to Twitter, right? It blows up, right? All the conspiracy theorists. That is where the IWC can go to thrive, because that's not a spoiler. Those are things that you can play with in your little sandbox.
A drop in the tank, planted the seed, and now
what in the world? And then we have the Miz and AJ Styles in that no disqualification match. You were about to speak on that. Give your thoughts.
Just thinking about when we were talking about Ciampa, I couldn't remember if Miz and AJ had any sort of feuds in the past, but I really liked it. And I also feel like Miz is less, I mean, I when I was texting with Kyle, I said, okay, he needs new merch immediately. Enough with the giant balls. Like, it's just corny, and maybe it was funny for a minute, but it's just like played out by now. And like,
I'm not wearing a shirt that says, hello, I have massive balls, or my balls are massive. No, come on.
So I think like, I feel like now he's less like charactery, and I think he's kind of like proving himself like on like the wrestling front, which I really like, because that feels fresh, because I think for so long it was just like obnoxious Miz, and now we're kind of getting like a different side. So I really like melted over like him and AJ. Like I love that match. I love the two of them. I was kind of hoping like it wouldn't just be a one-off. And then when Ciampa got involved with AJ, I was like, holy shit, like this is what I need. And I just, touching on what we're saying about Ciampa, I just feel like there's so many possibilities. You know, people are complaining about bringing the NXT guys back, but like they got called up for a reason, and they weren't given the opportunity to do what they could do and given that chance. So I feel like now it's like you said, like pressing like the restart button, and you're getting Ciampa up here having matches like this, and in turn it's giving like Miz a new like facelift, and I don't know.
And Ryan Matthews from the Pigskin Project, it is a podcast hosted on the Overtime Sports Network. You see the logo right there, @_OTSN on Twitter. He said he's pretty mad that the Miz lost to Logan Paul, only because Logan Paul's not gonna be very regular, despite the massive contract. Robbie had a retort to that, saying like Logan was always gonna win, bro. Like, what do you mean? And I agree. Logan had to win that match, but he did it incredibly. Jumping from the turnbuckle to the table, not breaking either of his femurs. His podcast with Triple H was great. I think that was good because it put that feud to bed, right? It put that one to rest. And Matthew says he's all for the push for Logan, but I'm furious that he's stepping away after the massive pop from the crowd after SummerSlam. I was ready for a US or IC title run for Paul.
So I wasn't excited.
And it's early, and it's a multi-year deal, right? He pops. What if Logan Paul wins the Royal Rumble? Like,
I guess too, if he got too much too soon, people would have something to say about that also. So there's just
he's a polarizing figure. So no matter what it is, the booking will be polarizing. I think the last thing with Raw was at the end of the I don't know if I can't remember if I watched Hulu on demand for Raw, and it cut off like right at the finish. I don't know if it was shown on TV, but Dexter Lumis was apprehended by police. That became big on Twitter. They had the right people to get the right snippets in the crowd as he was being drug away too. I think Triple H is interested in making viral moments throughout these shows. And hell, if I'm going to be here 3 hours, we're going to get some things that pop off a little bit. We're going to make some moments too. I like the way that they debuted Dexter Lumis. It's weird. It's creepy. That lends itself to a lot of the rumors about the way, right? Bring the way back, get Candice and Johnny. I don't know if you need that, but I like Dexter Lumis in NXT because he's creepy, and that's like kind of like my pocket. Yeah. I'm excited for him to be back. I think he's a guy that he made a big re-debut. You don't have to put him in the main event title scene. IC title, US title, things like that. Bogus says Logan Paul wrestled as much. Yeah, the European title.
It's not
let
98
Logan Paul
anymore.
breathe. Use him like McAfee. Sure, right? Like I think that's kind of where they're going on. And Robbie said it showed on BT Sport UK site. So if Paul does have a boxing match in December, I'm fully expecting him to dive right back in WWE through the Royal Rumble. It'll start a new feud with someone when he's eliminated. If he's eliminated, I don't know. I don't know. Eliminated Pigskin. I've already predicted Paul to win the Rumble. Hey, let's see. That's fun, right? That's it. That is something. He's a big name. He is a draw, and he can go. I'm Team Logan Paul. Erica, your thoughts? Are you on Team Logan Paul?
I mean, he really proved himself. I'll give him credit and respect for that match. But like, I never saw him coming in like super full time, which maybe does put like a taste in my mouth, like love it or leave it.
Yeah.
But I'm open to him more than I was before. So now that I know he can go.
I think there's so many guys that you can't have all these guys go full time either, because then you're kind of washed
like him that you're gonna have to cater to, and that I feel like is kind of douche, and it's gonna be like a Brock Jr. that he demands X, Y, and Z, and you're gonna have to give it to him, whether it's fans want it right now or not. And so I don't know, maybe it is best that he isn't on full time.
Well, it makes those moments that he has in the matches special too, and they're not expected.
And they can always call on him, yeah. Like you said, to make lesser shows maybe feel bigger.
You got it. And then I think the last wrapping up SmackDown and Raw. I don't know if there's any other takes or tidbits to talk about, but SmackDown was fun. Raw was fun. I'm excited to watch SmackDown tomorrow just to see, right? There's this fresh wave of developments in Raw and SmackDown. And now we're building towards Clash at the Castle, which is going to be Mammo, Big Boy. They have 63,000 tickets sold right now. So they'll probably say that they've sold 91,000, but they're at 63. They've got room for 8,000 more. And I think they're going to keep moving tickets. So, that's going to be a good show. I'm excited for that. That feels much different than a Saudi show, right?
It does feel much different than a Saudi show, and no disrespect to the UK, but I feel like if it was like Clash at the Castle like 2 years ago, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's this weekend. You know what I mean? But like now it's got like a much bigger feel to it. So
well, and that's the day, right? You got Clash at the Castle in the afternoon early, and then you got All Out late. Like you got what kind of Labor Day doubleheader do you need? You got a big WWE show followed by a big, I'm pretty sure it's the same day. Actually, no. Clash at the Castle's on Saturday. I think All Out's on Sunday.
Still, so it's the weekend. What a delicious weekend.
Bro, you don't even have to go anywhere to have a great weekend. September 3rd for Clash at the Castle. I believe All Out is September 4th. September 4th, 2022. Right. So back-to-back days. This is a wrestling fans WrestleMania weekend, right? Great show from WWE, great show from AEW, and then you got the Monday to recover. You know what I'm saying?
And then you got the people in the UK that like never get anything, and now they're involved in this big weekend.
Hopefully they get a big thing. Clash is going to be awesome. Drew spoke about it as well. Not long before we get WrestleMania in the UK. It's not going to be in 23 or 24, but 25,
What's 24?
26. 24 is going to be in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's right.
So is that a thing? Is that a thing you're going to?
Philadelphia.
I don't know. Your side of the country. That's what I got for you. Y'all ready for some free advertising at All Out? My OTM hoodie will look great in Chicago. The Pigskin Project. Make sure you get a picture. We would love to push that on social media. Vogus says the UK crowd will make it feel big.
For sure.
I agree. I feel like some of the Saudi shows, they act like WWE's there for like their entertainment, and like WWE kind of has to earn it. The Saudi shows have been getting better, like hand up. I think they are getting more important, but let's see. I don't know. Does Triple H want that Saudi money? I don't know. With the NDAs and the hush money off the books, do they need the Saudi money? Probably. Vogus says, is he meeting up with us in Chicago? That is a great question to ask Kyle Gagliardi. I haven't, but he's going. So you got
I'm
that
tempted.
going.
I'm tempted just to fly in for GCW. I know.
and,
I am.
and then bounce out. I think you should. I would stay
I'll
in
go home
that.
Sunday.
Is that would that be when is the GCW show? Probably Saturday.
Friday night, and it's like
Friday
$250 round trip. So I'm like, what if I just flew in Friday day, stayed for GCW, hung out Saturday, and then came home Sunday.
There you go. Get an early flight Sunday so you can be home to watch the pay-per-view if you'd like.
Take Monday off. Yeah, good to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, Dynamite, Quake at the Lake.
Let's
All
get
right.
quaking.
Let's get quaking. Let's quaking bacon. We started off with a coffin match between Brody King and Darby Allin, and Darby Allin is still crazy. Thought it was a great opener. A lot of things. I enjoyed the spot. They made Darby Allin look strong against a big, imposing Brody King.
Yes.
The last minute, Sting pops out of the coffin. So props to him for being in that coffin for however long he was. Did they sneak him in when the lights went out? I think they opened the coffin at some points prior to that, and he wasn't in there. So I think when the lights went out, yeah, something like that. When the lights went out, I felt like the lights were off for a long time before Aleister Black.
They were out for a long time. Yeah.
That's Sting's old ass finding the coffin, trying to fall into it, I guess. Yeah. But it was fun, right? It was that car crash type match where Darby got thrown around like a rag doll. It comes out on top. I enjoyed it.
Brody
So
with his own chain hanging on.
Yeah, and that last spot when he took his hands off, like when he let go of his hands, I'm
Brody
like,
Jesus,
holy shit, bro, your weight can kill you. That's not even a Darby thing. Don't be dumb. But he was like hanging by his chin. No, but
and then Darby just let right go. Yeah, that caught me too.
Yes, so I thought that was a good start. Andrade El Idolo and Roosh defeated the Lucha Brothers. That was a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought, I'm like, the Lucha Brothers win this bigger, more over maybe, but that is how you establish stars, right? So
but I was not surprised because I feel like the Lucha Brothers are losing such steam in the matches, not in delivering in the matches, but booking wise, I feel like they're just kind of like as they call them, a good card.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Ryan Matthews says, I'm looking forward to catching Gags in his party at All Out.
It's much smaller in real life.
It's Ian's 21st weekend, and Vogus says, do it, coward. Okay, so we might have a Vogus Bogus versus Ryan Matthews square off in Chicago.
Special guest referee.
Yes, just ref the match and then get out.
Yeah,
you're better than Aubrey Edwards. So, Luchasaurus defeated Anthony Henry. That happened. Any comments on that? No. Ricky Starks, friend of the show. Ricky Starks, absolute. We know the Revolution is televised. He defeated Aaron Solo. I think, is Aaron Solo part of the Nightmare Factory?
Yeah.
And now Ricky Starks is kind of like breaking away from. He was never attached with them. He just did Dusty Rhodes Foundation stuff with them at StarCast. I think that. Oh, the coward was to you.
I took it to me. I took that.
I took it. Do it, coward. That's what. Okay, so I don't. That's it. You have a challenge if you would like. We had the debut of Madison Rayne. Your thoughts on Madison Rayne? Do you have any thoughts?
I don't, and I think that I don't think I watched this match.
I don't think there was much to it. Jade Cargill ran through her as always. Jade Cargill still undefeated. Athena popped up. Sup, dog? Is Athena going to beat Jade Cargill?
I don't know, dude. It needs to just be Jade Cargill versus Roman Reigns. That's it. Because I don't know who's going to beat either one of them.
Kind of here for that, actually. Jade Cargill versus Roman Reigns. I'm in.
Yeah, that'd be pretty even.
I think Jade Cargill still beats Ember Moon. Are they booking her into a corner because she has a mid-card title? I don't know. Are they booking Jade Cargill into a corner because she has a mid-card title?
And
she's got to lose to someone to go. Like, are they going to make her undisputed Roman Reigns and win the women's title too?
No, but she doesn't need that TBS title.
That's what I'm saying. Ryan Matthews is saying that he'll square up with Vogus for a picture if possible. And then he can use that as some sort of clout, as Gags does. That he won that picture at SummerSlam when it was his idea, and I had about 3 seconds to get my hands up. So it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. But now Vogus is on alert because the smoke, the revolution is televised. So now that they're both ready, I'm taking Vogus in that picture. So Jade Cargill defeated Madison Rayne. Before we get to the main event, Hangman Page turned down an offer to join the Young Bucks in trios. I thought that was fun.
I thought that was fun, and I don't think that I knew which way that was going. And I think it also played into all of the rumors that people had for that show. They're like, oh, is tonight Punk comes back? Does tonight Kenny comes back? And I wasn't sure which way I was going to go with Hangman. And then when he turned them down and he stayed loyal to the Dark Order, I was like, maybe it's a Kenny night. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But
it was not.
The door's open.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested because I think their match is next week, isn't it?
I think you're right.
The Young Bucks are squaring off, and they've got a week to figure it out. And then the last thing to talk about from Dynamite was the main event: Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho, an interim world title match. All the blood, and that pulls us back to the Moxley comment. I am pulling it up from, I believe, was it Ryan Matthews?
No.
Oh, it's from Robbie. Okay, I will find that. What were your thoughts on the match? Side note. Well, that's a side note. Hold on. You talk. I will find.
I just never have much to say. Like Michael Scott, I just start a sentence and hope that I find myself along the way. I thought it was a great match. I think have they not faced each other since?
It's like 2.5 years, yeah.
Because didn't Mox take it from Jericho? Mm-hmm. Is that correct? Yes. Mm-hmm. So I liked it, and I kind of feel like Jericho's maybe doing like just like his not last hurrah, because I'm sure he'll probably want to keep going until he's Ric Flair faking heart attacks. But
I feel like he's smarter, but I don't know actually.
I like that he's still in these main event pictures. I don't know. He just does something so right. And I like this match. And to touch on what Robbie said, it is almost a given every time. And if it was legitimate and accidental some of the times, I feel like that would add to it and, whatever. But knowing you're going to get it, knowing it's going to be, it's kind of, I don't complain because I like it, but I get like,
well,
but I like, I mean, it's corny.
Had blood
like
in it.
When they had that women's match, there's something with the AW women that I just don't jive with. Some of them, when there was that match with like the Bunny, Anna Jay, maybe it was Ty, and I forget who the other girl was, maybe Penelope Ford. And I'm just looking in there, and it was like so soon after the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match, and they're all just covered head to toe, and it's just like, to me, I don't necessarily respect that. I respect what you went through, but don't try to like come off like now everybody's going to be bloody. Like, let Britt and Rosa have that. You know what I mean? So to me, sometimes it feels like that. Like, hey guys, the other guys won't do it, so we will, like just stupid.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Ryan Matthews from the Pigskin Project said, side note on Moxley, his book is awesome. Definitely recommend it to anyone that has time for it, or even the audiobook. Moxley Red is the narrator on the audiobook as well. I might look into it. I was trying to get, there's that one. I need to get that one. And then there's another one by Brian Gerowitz. He was a head of creative. He was like part of the creative team for WWE for a long time. So there's a lot of inside stories on that one that's coming out next week, I think, that I'm going to have to look into. The other thing about Jericho is like he doesn't have to wrestle forever because he has Fozzy too. And for those of you that live in Northwest Indiana, he's going to be in Hobart, Indiana. That's 15, 20 minutes from Vogus and Gags. Ryan Matthews is close to Hobart, Indiana, September 16th. Tickets are on sale now. First 7 rows You can get standing room only for $25. $200 VIP meet and greet.
I don't know if you've
with
ever
a
heard
ticket.
of Toad's Place in New Haven, was pretty famous, and it's like 10 minutes
Mm-mm.
from my house. So he was coming there, and we were like, yeah, let's just go to Fozzy, like just to do it. And then I got COVID, so I didn't go. So I think if you have the opportunity just to go,
I thought you were going to go to. I'm like, I went to Fozzy and got COVID, so do not recommend. Oh,
no,
Dirk
I have
Vogus
to.
coming in.
Oh,
He's
Mr. Bogus.
pissed. Oh my God, what time did you guys start? We started an hour earlier this week, Dirk, and that is my fault. It is not Erica's fault. She's the sweetest, but there is a supermoon popping off tonight that Erica's trying to get eyes on. Is that correct?
And also a Perseid meteor shower, which you
Ooh,
won't be able to see too well because it's when the same time as a supermoon, but you will be able to see them up until September 1st. So
Yes.
you'll be seeing a lot of like shooting stars.
Yes. What about a shooting star press? Anything? When will we see our next shooting star press?
That's how they come down.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Robbie Collins says, I cannot wait to see Fozzy. You know, hey, make a trip to the States. Go to Hobart, Indiana. You'll fly into Chicago Midway. Chef Gagliardi will pull up at 2 Sweet Kyle on Twitter. He'll pull up. He'll be a personal escort. You're going to love it.
He's got a sweet beanbag you can sleep on. I seen it.
Let me throw out the meet and greet package to you for this Fozzy date. You tell me if it's worth it. This is $200. It's an add-on. You have to buy a separate ticket. Okay, so you can buy a $25 standing room only and make it $225. You can buy first 7 rows, seats on side. So those are like protected seatish things. Those are $42.50. $242, $225. Or you just do the meet and greet, I guess. But you'll have a meet and greet with the members of Fozzy. You'll have a private sound check experience featuring a mini set of Fozzy and classic hard rock songs when available. You'll have early hassle-free merch shopping when available. You get a signed Fozzy photograph, and you'll get a VIP group photo with the band. Our VIP rep will email this to you. This does not guarantee you early entry to the venue, nor does it guarantee you front of line access. I think I'm out on the VIP.
Robbie is in though.
I think I'm getting VIP tickets when they come in November.
I don't know any other song, and Robbie said he loves it all. So that's
they did a cover. It was a Kiss cover, I think. Heart of Stone. When Chris Jericho made a quarantine band called Quarantine, where he worked with musicians from other bands. That's the only other Jericho-ish song I am familiar with, so I don't have much clout either. But I would go mess around for $25. Little sing Judas,
and maybe try to like wait for him like near his bus before or after.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if I would do the meet and greet, but that's a special thing. Like, is Fozzy going over to the UK all the time? Whatever. I get it. I understand that. So I think that's it in the landscape of the week that was wrestling. Not a ton of big banger headlines. You got a couple important re-debuts. You got good television.
Punk came back.
Punk did come back to set up after the main event. You're right.
Shame on the idiots on Twitter that have to say like, CM Punk came back. Dexter Lumis and Kross came back. Nobody's comparing the two. Loomis and
CM Punk didn't leave though. CM Punk was on the roster. He was hurt.
Correct. Right? And you know what? Like, you knew he was coming back. Nobody saw Loomis and Dexter and Karrion Kross.
I didn't see Loomis coming back. The Karrion Kross thing makes sense because I think they booked him well in NXT, and then it was like the difference in it. CM Punk was on the roster, got hurt, came back. Karrion Kross got pushed in a shitty way when he made it to the main roster, then got released, and then was called back by a different owner that thought they could utilize him better. It's not the same.
No, and the only rumor that I saw about Dexter Lumis coming back was WWE interested in Dexter Lumis again, and that was like one day before Raw. So no one saw it coming. So
Robbie Collins saying these guys paying $25 for one song. Absolutely, brother. I mean, if I do the meet and greet, they're gonna play more songs I don't know. So it's like, that's fine.
Then they say they're like covering classic rock.
Yeah, if they're covering other people's songs, I might know a few. John Cena posted a pic of him and Bray. Could that mean something? It could.
I I think
That
John Cena's
could.
also a master troll.
There is that too. Dirk Voga says, I was watching the WWE Legends Lex
Ooh, I heard that
Luger
was
episode,
good.
waiting for you guys
that
to
was
come
real
on the
good.
air. What a story there. Kind of sad. But all these AEW A&E docs are
Yeah.
great. I've really enjoyed them. I have to get caught up on a couple of them. The Monday Night Wars one was good. I expected more like new information that I didn't really know. More of a trip down memory lane. The DX
That one I need to watch.
biography, that one's gonna pop off. I'm excited for that. I from what Fightful said, Bray Wyatt did not have a great relationship with Vince McMahon. Over creative, over the creative direction. Vince McMahon would kind of talk shit to him too. So that was a jaded relationship. And now that he's no longer in the picture, I think that does open that door back up as well. I haven't heard any official rumblings, but I wouldn't hate Bray Wyatt coming back.
And letting him do Bray Wyatt stuff, whatever Bray Wyatt stuff he wants to do.
And letting him in. Yes.
Yeah.
Bray, what are you doing this week? You have 15 minutes. What's on your mind? Let me know what you need, kind of thing.
Yep.
I think we're good. What do we have coming up? GCW this weekend, if you're tuning into that. What's your next show you're going to?
Something super local on Saturday, so it doesn't count.
That does count.
But
So
then
if I was going to Reno Championship Wrestling, I would say it.
all right, well, I'm going to Northeast Wrestling on Saturday. But
There you
then
go.
on Sunday the 21st, we're going to be on wrestling's big yearly show, American Rana. And Eddie's
Ooh,
going to
okay.
be there. Ortiz Wheeler's going to be there. I'm totally saying something to him about my sweet ass Tamio. Willow will be there. So I'm excited.
There you go. All your people. The
killer
Marini
stars, so
squad is going to be rolling
stoked.
deep.
Yeah.
Is that going to be on
It's gonna
Fight?
be
You think?
faster.
Probably, right? That'll probably be streamed, right? I could probably watch that.
IWTV or whatever it
TV,
is.
something like that.
It's somewhere.
Robbie Collins chipping in NXT Heatwave next Tuesday. That'll be fun too. That's true. Heatwave was in full effect when I went to Nashville, Indiana. The humidity was ass. I ran today. It was 87 degrees. Did not feel nearly as bad as 78 and just humid as balls. So shout out to those guys in the Midwest that just stay in the humidity.
Surviving.
But,
also in New England because it sucks here too. Maybe not as bad.
Yeah, cheeks. Gagliardi and Vogus are confirmed, along with friend of the show, Michael Kubaki. He was a co-host with me on Wheelhouse Baseball. So now we've got 3 people flying in for Spooky Fest West. We've got a few others we're working on. So I'm excited for that as well. But anything else to add? Let me throw up the banner for the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast one more time. Visit onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com for all your merch needs. And as I point to this TV screen, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, @Pot on the Mark. We're kind of popping off on TikTok. We're growing a little bit. I don't want to brag. We're growing a little bit. And then we are part of the Overtime Sports Network @_OTSN. Follow us. We're on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed to the channel, A, I thought we were friends, and B, just hit subscribe. Even if you don't like, if you don't like me, I know you don't like Erica. Just hit subscribe in spite of us. Like, screw these guys. I'm subscribing to these guys. I'm going to show them. I'm even going to hit like and the notification bell because I hate these people so much. That's fine. Like, we can be heels. We can work heels. Yeah. Erica, any last thoughts before we say thank you for listening to the Mark Wrestling Podcast together?
I said it last week and I'm going to keep saying it again until I don't mean it, but what a time to be a wrestling fan. We are blessed. We are lucky.
What a time. Right now. It could be worse. And we had a great show.
Bogus.
We are, as of right now, we're back on regular time next week. Teacher work days start for Tucky next week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Got to show up, talk to adults about teaching them kids. And then we, first day of school is on the 22nd. The summer has flown by.
August?
What a summer it was. We go to June 16th next year. We got a lot of breaks.
Crazy. I don't ever remember starting school before Labor Day, but I don't remember.
You never do? Indiana school started this. Some of the Indiana schools started this week. They're trying to be out before Memorial Day.
Wow.
So that's a different vibe. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 9 minutes, 43 seconds of pure wrestling bliss from @JimTuck89 and @Erica_0328 on Twitter. did not have any big blow up moments on this show.
No, I
The
didn't even show the EO shirt.
oh dang! I just bought an Io Shirai figure on eBay last night. Don't tell my wife;
Is it
she
her
doesn't
with the
listen.
fur hood?
Oh yeah, oh
Nice, I got
yeah.
it.
$8. I don't want to brag.
If I
I
could
know
dab, I
people.
would.
I know. And as we said to Mr. Vogus, we are back on regular time next week. Until next time, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling podcast.
Ow! I like the way Harmon